My 27F fiancé's 25M friends are rude to me and he doesn't think it's his business. Hi, bringing this to Reddit because we keep arguing about it and can't come to an agreement. Long post alert. My fiancé, 25M, and I, 27F, have had a bit of a whirlwind relationship. We met in a graduate program, were friends for a year, and then started seeing each other romantically and had a baby shortly after. It all went very fast. Throughout our relationship, his two best friends, who happen to be siblings, have been a problem. When my fiancé and I were just friends, they were friendly to me, and when we were just casually hooking up, they were friendly, too, but as soon as things got serious, they got rude. This rudeness mostly was shown in the way of passive-aggressive in-person interactions as well as directly rude texts. I've been nothing but nice to these boys. When things were still good, they mentioned needing a place to live and having trouble finding something in their budget. I happened to be moving out of a home that I own, and offered it to them at a discount. This was a bad idea and has been a contributor to the deterioration of the friendship, which is why I mention it. Here's a few examples of their behavior, both regarding the house and not. After we announced my pregnancy, they told me privately, and with a good deal of seriousness, that I stole my fiancé's youth. It wasn't a joke. The four of us all having a conversation in a group. They put an arm around his shoulder and walked him away from me to talk privately without saying a word to me, leaving me excluded. We visit them to work on the house. Before baby, they say they want to go out with my fiancé, but I'm not invited. Neither is one of their girlfriends, and they left us at the house together while they went to have boys' night, not paying their bills and then telling me that the house was unsuitable when they moved in, so they shouldn't have to pay for certain things. It wasn't unsuitable. They did an inspection before they signed a lease. Asking fiancé to go on trips all the time even though we have a newborn because they assume I should do all the childcare. He's gone on several of these. But if it were up to them, he'd be gone all the time to go party while I raise our child. Coming over and letting the dog in when I tell them not to. They do it anyway and say, it's not a big deal. Don't worry about it. Or screaming outside while the baby is sleeping. Or riling the dog up so he barks even if the baby is sleeping. More context. They've never straight out called me names or anything, but I've heard from mutual friends that they have said directly aggressive things about me. I've also heard they tried to break us up. What sucks is I've been more than nice to them the whole way. And I've put up with these little aggressions out of respect for my fiancé and his relationship with them. They finally moved out of my house. Thank God. But at this point, they've been so cold to me for so long that they genuinely make me uncomfortable, and I just wanna break from them. Every time I see them, I have my guard up, just waiting for the next snide comment or disrespectful action. I've asked my fiancé to help me take a break by not bringing them to our home, just for a few months until I can gain some composure back. But he hasn't been supportive in this. He thinks I'm overly sensitive to just a few mean texts, and he thinks it's toxic that I don't want them in our home. I've asked my fiancé if they can hang out at their house instead of ours. But my fiancé tells me that's not an option because they can't drink around their mom with whom they live. So then I ask that he gives me a heads up before they come over so I can at least get the baby and myself out of the house. Go to the park or run errands or whatever. And he says he will. But usually he doesn't give me a heads up until they're already pulling into the driveway. And then I have to make myself scarce from my own home for several hours while they do whatever they do. This is such a long post. If you're still here, thanks for reading. But I'm feeling stuck. It bothers me that my fiancé doesn't want to protect me more from these assholes. I'm not even asking him to stop being friends with them. I just need a break from their behavior. Generally, I just feel like I'm not being taken seriously about how his friends make me feel. Any advice? Reddit? This isn't the only place in the relationship where I feel like I'm not being taken seriously. But I'm trying to tackle one problem at a time. Don't marry this guy. He's fine with how his friends treat you, and it's not going to get better once you're married. I'd ask him to take part in couples counseling before getting married and see if some headway can be made there. If nothing changes, I'd cut him loose. How he allows his friends to treat you is a direct reflection on how he feels about you and your well-being. He isn't just failing to stand up for his fiancé. He is flat out refusing to support the mother of his child. You expressed your concerns to him and he sided against you. You offered compromises and he rejected them. He knowingly brings people who make you uncomfortable into your home. Are you absolutely sure you want to marry this man? Are you willing to spend the rest of your life with someone who will place his friends above you? Your fiancé is disrespectful, and the fact he isn't defending you is upsetting. I would take steps to remove yourself from these people. Don't renew their lease when it is up and evict them. Stop being nice to them. Don't even try anymore. If your partner tries to blame you, then I would reconsider the relationship. Why do you want to marry someone who refuses to support you? So I've been the guy who had a friend who was disrespecting my fiancé, and I will say, even with the best intentions, the situation can feel really difficult. The situation boils down to either him facing a you or them ultimatum, or him serving them an ultimatum, neither of which is fun. But here's the thing. While it is natural for you to not want to be the friend or girlfriend controlling someone else's relationships, you are not just some friend or girlfriend. You are his fiancé, and the mother of his child no less. The context here is a marriage. Even if you're not quite married yet, presumably that it is the explicit intention. And that context shifts the scales a bit, and this is what you have to get him to understand if you want to have any hope of salvaging the relationship. A happy marriage that lasts is built on mutual respect. When his friends blatantly show you intentional disrespect, even if it's only to him, and he does not put them on notice, what he is implicitly expressing is that you are not worthy of that respect. And that will very quickly destroy any chance at mutual respect, and your marriage will not last. It is natural for him to want to try and avoid rocking the boat and risking losing his best friends. Who wouldn't? But protecting the mutual respect between you is more important, because it is the bedrock on which you will build your marriage. At least I'd only want to marry someone who prioritized that. You don't have a his friends problem. You have a fiancé problem. He continually lets them openly disrespect you in your own home. Why are you putting up with that? They can't drink around their mom with wine, they live. Lol, they're losers. Do not let a pair of utter losers drive you out of your own home with your newborn. You husband needs to shut this down. If he doesn't, then now you know where you stand in the priority pecking order. A partner that won't stick up for you is not worth it. Okay, I have a huge problem with him not defending you as his partner and mother of his child, but these assholes also purposely scream and rile up the dog while his baby, is sleeping, and he has nothing to say? I'm appalled. They are all disrespectful and disgusting people, and I would think very carefully about how you want to proceed with a man who won't defend you or your child. That speaks volumes to me. It's time your fiancé grew up. Until he does, this will continue. I'm sorry. You have a lot on your shoulders, and until your fiancé starts acting like he should, nothing is going to change. They are jealous and are acting on it. Here's what I would do. 30-day notice to GTFO of your house. If there is any damage, send them a bill. If it is not paid, take them to small claims court. Tell your BF you know what is going on and are not comfortable with the situation. If he does not defend you against these assholes, then leave him and take the baby. Take him to court for support. It sounds like you are miserable due to these boys, and that's not okay. Your child needs the best of you, not the rest of you. Take care of you first. I'm invested. Please update us. I hope everything works out in a way that is best with you and your child. You come off as really funny and mature, and your art is amazing. You have gotten yourself into a terrible spot. Your boyfriend is not husband material. He sounds like a kid. You have no choice but to make him choose. He is either your support or he is theirs. I hate to say it, but it certainly sounds like he will choose those two assholes. But you have no choice but to tell him how you feel, that they disrespect you and your relationship. And he needs to choose, because you tried to be nice to them but they refuse to accept you as his mate. This is seriously your relationship on the line, and he needs to know that.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.